Hello guys, welcome to my video on fundamental asset analysis of India's paint industry. Let me tell you why we are doing this analysis of entire paint industry. Imagine you have invested in a stock and you don't know how exactly that company works. Then you will not know the news that will affect. So Warren Buffett says always imagine that you're not buying a stock. Instead, you're being a part of it. You're owning a business. So it's always good to know business before getting into that business. That's why I'm teaching you in this video how to do fundamental analysis on entire paint industry. As you know, Indian paint industry is worth 50,000 crore and it is split into two. That is, one is decorative paints and the other is industrial paints. So decorative paint stands for like 37,500 crore, that's 75% of entire industry, and the industrial paints is 25%, that's 12,500 crores of entire paint industry. In decorative paints, wall paints, buildings, woods, primers, putters, all these come. And in industrial paints, automobile, powder coating, and protective coatings like prevention of rust and prevention of corrosion. Now let's see what is India's paint industry market share. So what is market share? Market share is, if imagine if you're selling 100 products, then how many products in those belong to one particular company. So if we imagine that we are selling that 100 tins of paint, then in that, if 39 belongs to Asian Paint, it's called 39% market share of Asian Paint. So in Indian market industry now, there is Asian Paints which has 39% share and it's a market leader. Then Kansai Nerolac, it has 11% share and it is market leader when it comes to industrial paints. And then Berger Paints, which has 12% market share, and Akzo Nobel, which is 6% share, and 32% belongs to others. So Asian Paints is leader in decorative paints and Kansai Nerolac is leader in industrial paints. Paint sector is raw material industry. What do we mean by that? This means that paint companies spend money majorly on its raw materials, like acquiring its raw materials. So this is average spending by paint companies over 3 years. And we can see that raw material cost, which is shown in orange here, stands at 53.5%. And then selling and distribution cost 10% and 6.6% is employee cost. So clearly raw materials play a major role in paint sector and it has a lot of effect, and it's very good to know what all are the raw materials, and if there are any news related to this raw material, then what action you should take when it comes to that stock. Raw materials that are used in paint industry are crude oil, which costs for 50%, and titanium dioxide for 25%, and this others for 25%. This we can neglect. We have to concentrate only on these two. So as we know, this crude oil and titanium dioxide in India, it's majorly imported, okay, from other countries. So we'll see that in next slide. One more thing to notice here is that industrial paint sector is heavily dependent on crude oil, like more than decorative paints. That's why this crude oil, if there is any news of fluctuation or price change, then that can have more effect on industrial paint than compared to decorative paint. As I said, raw materials for paint industry are majorly imported. What are the raw materials? Crude oil is one which is imported, and Saudi Arabia is from where we import the highest, and then Iran, Kuwait, Iraq, UAE, Nigeria, Angola, and others. One more thing is titanium dioxide. So here it shows China is our major importer. We import from them. Germany, South Korea, Japan, USA, and others. So why I'm telling you all this is, as I said, this is sector analysis. So if we didn't know that crude oil were imported from this country and titanium dioxide is one of the raw materials that is also imported, then if there is any relationship between two countries being damaged or built on a very good scale, then that will affect this raw paint industry. That's why we should clearly understand how a sector works, and then we can go and analyze what companies to invest in that particular sector. So clearly in paint industry, relationship between two countries is very important. This is Asian Paints chart here, and it's for over length of 2 years. This region here, You might be thinking that it's just a normal rally in price. No, on this date, our government took a major step and it reduced GST from 28% to 18%. By doing this, on MRP, the paint industry had to pay less for government, thus their margin profits got increased. And thus one good step by government, so which supports the paint industry. This is Kansai Nerolac chart, and you can see that there is not much uptrend or low trend. It's going sideways. Sideways means that price is remaining almost constant, except for this point when it was due to COVID-19. Why did this happen? Because Kansai Nerolac is a leader in paint industry, and on this date, government announced that there will be no vehicle sales of BS4 standards until April 2020 first. That is, BS4 vehicles can't be sold after April 1st, 2020. Because of this, companies stopped manufacturing BS4 vehicles and thus less consumption of paint, and that's why there's not much rally in this stock. But now, since we are post April 1st, 2020, and there will be a lot of vehicles being sold of BS6 standards, and again, it's a good green signal for Kansai Nerolac. I'll do entire analysis of these companies in my coming video. Let me tell you, if you're thinking that paint industry gets major of its revenue from painting new buildings, then you're wrong. It gets 70% of its revenue from repainting already the constructed ones, that is already the painted ones. So repainting is done to keep buildings safe and healthy. And one more added advantage to this is that repainting cycle now it has been reduced from 6 to 8 years to 3 to 3.5 years. And this is one more added advantage to paint industry, and here it shows the growth potential of this industry. As I said before, now since we are post April 1st, there will be a lot of vehicle sales and industrial paint industry can also see a good growth. There is some good attachment between Indian festivals and paint industry. How? Yeah. So many people in India they tend to repaint their houses preceding major festivals like Diwali, Makara Sankranti, Onam, Christmas. That's why major of the repainting is done during this time. And automobile sales will also be high during this time as companies will be giving various offers like Diwali offer, Dasara offer. Thus both decorative and industrial paint sector will be affected in a positive way. And clearly in our country it falls during second fiscal, that is from September to March. We can see that industries, paint industries perform better during this time period. To some extent during this period industrial paint sector will also see a good growth. Let me make this clear. If there is no growth potential in any particular sector, then the companies which are in that sector will also not be able to grow. Only if there is a potential for sector to grow, then the companies have the potential to grow. And that is what we are going to do in this slide. If we are seeing if paint sector has a good growth potential. Per capita paint consumption. This shows amount of paint consumed in any country per person. Okay, now let's see what is it in India, US and global average. In India it's 4 kg per annum, in US it's 24 kg per annum, and in global consumption is 15 kg. India is clearly way below these two. As we know, United States is highly developed. If not 24 kg, we can't reach in very short term. This global consumption average is 15 kg and we are way below that. That's why there is a lot of potential for paint industry, and this per capita consumption can increase drastically in coming years, and there is growth potential. One more factor is median age of a country. What do we mean by this? This means that if that one particular number shows that half of population of that country is below that particular age and rest half is above that age. So now let's see median age for countries like India, USA and Japan. For India it's 28.7. It means that half of population of India is below 28.7 and the other half is above 28.7. Then US it's 38.5 years and Japan it's 48.6. So you might be wondering, how does this affect paint industry? Yeah, as you know, in India, people usually build own house or buy new house when they are kind of settled in their life. And as you know, most of these youngsters who are below 28% wouldn't think of that. But once they're in this age range, they might think of buying house or building a new one, and because of that, there will be more and more paint consumption, thus increasing per capita paint consumption and a lot of growth for paint sector, and in turn affecting the companies in that, and thus generating profits for us investors like you and me. Let's do SWOT analysis for this company, for this sector, sorry. First, let's start with strengths. GST rate was reduced, thus increasing profit margin. It's very difficult for new player to come in this field. Why? Because there are very well established brands, and people tend to go to those brands because investment which you're doing here is for 10 years, 20 years, and people tend to go for better brands, and thus for new players this is a very difficult sector to enter. And shortened repeating cycle, thus it adds more and more benefits to paint company. Now let's see weaknesses. One weakness of paint industry is that it's dependent on other country for raw materials, and this is one major weakness. Opportunities. As we know, there is rapid infrastructure development in company, housing for all scheme by government. By doing this, there is more and more oil consumption. Once these buildings are built, there'll be repainting cycle and again benefit. So it's a recurring cycle, and paint industry can never be saturated. And sales growth in automobile will be more now after BS6 vehicles are introduced, and we can see benefit to industrial paint sector as well. And one more main opportunity in this field is water-based paints. So as you know, we are dependent on other countries for raw materials. So if water-based paints are developed, then our dependency on other countries will be drastically brought down, as well as the cost will also be brought down, and thus this seems like a very potential paint sector. And there is a lot of R&D going on by many companies to build this water-based paints. Let's see who cracks it and who comes up with water-based paints. Threat to this is volatility in crude oil prices can affect paint industry, and unhealthy relationship can also affect the raw materials that are being imported from that country. So clearly you can see that strengths and opportunities together is more than weakness and threats. That's why the paint industry looks like a promising one. So I'd like to conclude that paint industry, as I said before, is promising one, but it is highly dependent on crude oil prices and rupee to dollar or rupee to other currency valuation as well. Industrial paint segments is a lot more technical than decorative paints. There are a lot more technical knowledge that is required for industrial paints. As a result, new players are highly unlikely to come into this field. But decorative paints, yeah, there can be few new players coming, but it will be difficult for them to fight against or compete with already well established brands. As I said, it's a very large investment, and people usually tend to go for good brands. And there are many companies that have established very well brand image and effective advertisement in our country, and thus it's a sector wherein market leaders continue to be the leaders, with new companies finding it difficult to enter into this field. But still, as I said before, there is one place where company can enter in this, that is by water-based paints. If some company comes up with water-based paint, one advantage is it is highly eco-friendly, and people are switching to eco-friendly ecological ways these days. And water is the raw material, thus it's cheaper, and water is used, so we are not depending on other countries for other raw materials. So this is one branch where companies can do a lot of R&D and enter into the sector. Crude oil prices, look out for it. If there is any news related to crude oil prices, then you should see how it will affect the sector. And relationship with other countries, as raw materials are highly imported from other countries, it's always good to keep an eye out for India's relationship with other countries. So these are the news that you should be looking out for when it comes to stocks that fall in paint sector. So far we learned everything about paint sector, paint industry, and how it works, and you know what all goes behind manufacturing of paint, like raw materials, and how where all it's imported from, how government rules are affecting the paint industry, and how we did a SWOT analysis to see what are strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats, and concluding that it looks like a very potential growth sector, and there is a lot of potential for it, especially in India, and there are market leaders already there in this sector, and it will be difficult for new players to come in. But yeah, as I said, water-based paints will be one route for new players to enter into this field. And in next video, I'll be talking on these stocks that are market leaders who are already established in this field, and we'll see how these companies are performing and what would my opinion be on these companies when it comes to their performance. So please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for my next video on this sector. Thank you.